Could Trump's startling peace proposal finally bring the Gaza conflict to a close? With a daring 20-point plan, Trump has given Hamas just days to accept terms aimed at ending the 2-year-long war. Will Hamas agree, or is this just another unsuccessful peace effort? Stay with us as we delve into the reality behind this high-stakes move. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're focusing on one of the most significant happenings in international politics. President Donald Trump's contentious 20-point peace plan intended to resolve the ongoing Gaza crisis. The situation in Gaza has been critical for over 2 years, with continuous clashes between Hamas and Israel causing thousands of deaths and vast destruction. Global observers have long called for resolution, and now Trump's proposal promises decisive intervention. But what exactly does the plan entail? How feasible are its commitments? Most importantly, can it truly break the endless cycle of violence in the region? In this video, we'll examine each aspect of the proposal, gauge reactions from global powers, assess the likely responses from Hamas, understand Israel's stance, and consider the humanitarian consequences. We'll also identify the challenges that could hinder success. By the end, you'll gain a clear perspective on whether this plan is a realistic path to peace or merely another political tactic. Stick with us as we dissect it point by point to reveal the truth behind the headlines. Let's begin this thorough exploration of a plan that might reshape the Middle East or fail dramatically. Trump's peace proposal outlines 20 specific points aimed at tackling the root causes of the Gaza conflict. It calls for an immediate ceasefire, a strict disarmament of Hamas, and demands the release of all hostages within 72 hours. It also suggests forming a transitional government in Gaza overseen by a newly established peace board made up of international mediators. One of the most contentious requirements is for Hamas to relinquish control over key military and security systems. The plan also pledges reconstruction aid for Gaza, including international investment in housing, healthcare facilities, and schools, with oversight to ensure proper use of funds. Furthermore, the proposal includes steps to establish a special economic zone designed to generate jobs and alleviate poverty, a major underlying cause of unrest. Trump stresses that the goal is not only to stop violence, but also to foster long-term stability in the region. While supporters argue that these steps are essential for peace, critics claim the plan favors Israel heavily and falls short in addressing Palestinian political representation or sovereignty. The ambitious deadline gives Hamas just a few days to respond, intensifying the pressure. Next, it's vital to analyze international responses as well as the potential reactions from Hamas and Israel to understand whether this plan can succeed or if it's destined to face significant barriers. The global reaction to Trump's peace plan has been mixed and closely examined. Nations like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Turkey have cautiously welcomed it, highlighting its potential to stabilize Gaza. European countries, including the UK, Germany, and France, have expressed interest in facilitating talks between Israel and Hamas, noting that international supervision might prevent further escalation. However, many humanitarian groups and Palestinian advocates remain skeptical. Critics argue the plan disproportionately benefits Israel by insisting on Hamas' complete disarmament, while offering minimal political concessions for Palestinians. UN officials emphasize that peace requires addressing broader issues such as statehood, rights, and resource access for Palestinians. Simultaneously, regional powers are engaged in behind-the-scenes diplomacy, urging Hamas to cooperate while assuring Israel their security concerns will be respected. Some view the plan as a chance to create a model for international intervention in conflict resolution, potentially transforming the political landscape of the Middle East. Others caution that rushing implementation could backfire, escalating violence and distrust. The tight deadline for Hamas to respond, just 3 to 4 days, adds extra pressure and limits room for negotiation. Understanding these global reactions is key, since international support or opposition could make or break the plan and shape long-term peace prospects. Hamas has come under intense pressure regarding its reply to Trump's proposal. The group is reportedly reviewing the 20-point plan under severe time constraints, having only a brief window to accept or decline. One major sticking point is the demand to disarm and give up military control in Gaza, which Hamas has used as leverage and a symbol of its authority. While some Hamas leaders seem open to talks, others warn that agreeing could weaken their political legitimacy and control over the population. They are aware of international consequences, potential sanctions, economic incentives, and diplomatic recognition if compliant, but fear losing influence or being seen as surrendering to external pressure. Internal divisions within Hamas over engaging with the plan versus outright rejection present risks of political fragmentation. Experts believe Hamas' decision will balance strategic interests, public opinion, and pressure from allies like Qatar and Turkey. They must weigh immediate survival against long-term goals, making any move critical for Gaza's future stability. The world watches closely, as Hamas' stance may determine whether the plan succeeds or ignites further conflict. On Israel's side, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu supports Trump's peace plan, portraying it as a chance to secure lasting safety. Netanyahu insists Gaza must never again act as a launch site for attacks against Israelis. The plan's requirements for Hamas disarmament and international monitoring align with Israel's security objectives. Nonetheless, Israel faces political and logistical hurdles enforcing these terms. Military and intelligence agencies stand ready to respond to Hamas noncompliance with targeted operations, border tightening, and dismantling militant networks. Netanyahu also must maintain backing from hardline factions, advocating a tough stance on Hamas. Residents near Gaza remain uneasy about the plan's viability and immediate security effects. Economically, Israel is ready to help rebuild Gaza under international oversight. Recognizing regional stability could enhance trade and reduce security expenses. Critics in Israel warn that while the plan might bring temporary calm, lasting peace demands broader negotiations on borders, settlements, and Palestinian political rights. Israel's forthcoming decisions will be pivotal, potentially marking either a historic breakthrough or another stalemate in a protracted conflict. International mediators hold a crucial role in Trump's plan, tasked with overseeing the transitional government and ensuring compliance from both sides. Former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair, alongside UN representatives and Arab nations, is set to form a peace board supervising demilitarization, reconstruction, and economic revival in Gaza. These mediators will verify weapon surrenders, monitor ceasefires, and manage humanitarian aid delivery. Their involvement aims to foster transparency and build trust where deep mistrust has existed historically. They are also responsible for ensuring rebuilding efforts benefit all civilians rather than political elites. The Special Economic Zone is part of this strategy to reduce unemployment, attract investment, and improve living standards. Critics fear international mediation might fall short of ensuring compliance, especially if Hamas perceives bias or Israel's enforcement is deemed overly harsh. Still, neutral international actors could provide a vital buffer to prevent renewed conflict. Observers stress that success depends heavily on mediators' ability to enforce agreements fairly, maintain legitimacy, and respond promptly to violations, since delays or perceived partiality could reignite fighting in this fragile region. Despite reconstruction promises, humanitarian issues in Gaza remain urgent. More than 66,000 Palestinians have lost their lives in the last 2 years amid ongoing hostilities, leaving many displaced and communities devastated. Basic needs like clean water, healthcare, and electricity are severely limited, and numerous children grow up in unsafe, unstable settings. Aid organizations warn that though Trump's plan addresses political and security matters, it may not prioritize immediate relief adequately. Even with international oversight, rebuilding takes time, and mismanagement or political disputes could stall aid. The psychological impact of recurring violence is profound, with widespread trauma crossing all ages. Critics argue that focusing mainly on military and political objectives, without a robust humanitarian approach, risks exacerbating resentment and undermining long-term peace. Ensuring aid reaches vulnerable groups requires coordination between Israel, Hamas, and mediators, a complex task amid mutual suspicion. Military enforcement against non-compliant factions must also be carefully calibrated to avoid civilian casualties, as mistakes could spark global condemnation and weaken confidence in the peace process. To summarize, despite its reconstruction goals, the plan's success hinges on addressing urgent humanitarian needs alongside security and political reforms. Implementing Trump's peace plan faces many obstacles. Hamas' possible refusal to disarm and surrender control is a major challenge. Internal splits in Hamas could cause delayed or conflicting responses, potentially sparking internal conflict. International enforcement mechanisms are limited, and mediators might lose credibility if breaches happen. The short acceptance deadline, 3 to 4 days, leaves scant time for negotiations, raising the chances of outright rejection. Critics also note the plan doesn't tackle broader Palestinian demands for statehood, political rights, and autonomy, which could fuel unrest even if immediate violence ceases. Israel's enforcement approach presents a dilemma. Excessive force risks international backlash, leniency might embolden opposition. Regional actors like Iran, Qatar, and Turkey could influence Hamas or other groups, adding complexity. Logistical challenges, fair aid distribution, reconstruction oversight, and economic management also loom large. Absent careful planning and cooperation, well-meaning efforts could fail, leading to renewed conflict. Analysts warn that, although ambitious, the plan's success demands unprecedented coordination, trust, and compromise from all involved. These hurdles highlight the delicate interplay among diplomacy, enforcement, and humanitarian efforts in securing lasting Gaza peace. If carried out effectively, Trump's plan could transform Gaza's political and economic environment. Demilitarization and supervision may reduce violence and bring stability, enabling international aid to restore infrastructure and elevate living conditions. Special economic zones might spur job creation and lower poverty, tackling underlying conflict causes. For Israel, Hamas compliance would mean greater security and fewer attack risks. International mediators could establish a conflict resolution framework, setting a precedent for future regional peace initiatives. Conversely, failure could deepen mistrust between Israel and Palestinians and empower extremist groups globally. The outcome may sway international diplomacy, with countries revisiting Middle East strategies. A successful plan could boost Trump's political standing and showcase international mediation's potential, while a failure might renew skepticism towards single-party proposals and underline peace enforcement challenges in entrenched conflicts. Ultimately, lasting effects depend on sustained cooperation, monitoring, and commitment to agreements by all parties, underscoring the fragile, complex nature of peacebuilding in one of the world's most volatile areas. In conclusion, Trump's contentious 20-point peace plan stands as one of the most ambitious recent efforts to resolve the Gaza conflict. With immediate ceasefire calls, Hamas disarmament demands, reconstruction commitments, and international oversight, it aims to tackle security and humanitarian concerns alike. Yet the tight timeline, political intricacies, and deep-rooted mistrust make execution a significant challenge. Hamas' reply, Israel's implementation, and the mediators' credibility will be crucial to this initiative's success or failure. Beyond politics, the human impact, the lives of thousands affected by ongoing violence, remains central. While some see this as a genuine peace opportunity, others fear it as another fleeting attempt amid many failed ones. As global citizens, understanding the complexities of such proposals is vital for informed discussions and advocacy. If you found this exploration valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more comprehensive analyses. We invite you to comment below. Do you believe Trump's plan can truly end the Gaza conflict, or is it bound to encounter the same hurdles as previous efforts? Your opinion matters. Stay tuned for updates as this story develops. Tell us your city in the comments below and share your story. Remember, success is the best revenge against those who underestimate you. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of triumph over discrimination. And always remember, never judge someone by their appearance, because the person you rate disrespecting today might be signing your paycheck tomorrow. Stay strong, stay proud, and keep